In From, what we see are people stuck in a town in a loop who cannot escape. That is the basic premise of this show. And I had told you what I thought and why this is going on. And a lot of people had given me a lot of pushback saying that this has to be some type of biblical situation, some type of spiritual situation, and once again, some type of mythological, magical situation, which I have told you that that is not the case. In this video, I'm going to explain all the things you put in the comment section, and that is dealing with shape-shifting, that is dealing with people being reincarnated, also people dealing with everything else you have said. I will put that in this video and we shall see what actually is going on in this town. And I'm going to do it by showing you an episode of Fringe. And this episode was written by the people who wrote this show and worked on this show. And that is why I'm drawing this direct correlation that this is neither of those things that I talked about before, that this is 100% dealing with science fiction. The show starts off with a bunch of people who are in this town and they can't escape town. This sounds very familiar to anyone who has watched Fringe and the episode Westfield Protocol.
Did you see that?
Yeah, welcome to Westfield. You must have gotten turned around someplace.
Yeah, I guess so.
You just gotta stay on the main road. It takes you right back to the highway.
I thought I did.
You have to drive slow. Jim, we're gonna pass it again.
Pass what, Tabitha? What? Switchback? Where is it? Show it to me.
We also remember in From that there was no cell service. Their cell phones did not work at all. They tried them, but they could not get a signal.
Can we go back to some place that resembles civilization?
What's up?
I can't get a signal. I'm gonna hit that payphone on the corner, see if I can get an ETA from Astrid. We may have to get the rhubarb to go.
All right.
So then the next question would be, where are they? And they answer this in Fringe, that they are in two universes that are overlapping, creating a pocket dimension. Now maybe this is just a big coincidence. Maybe this isn't enough to say that this is exactly where they are. But we see that they come up in From with a plan to contact the outside world. And what was this plan? The plan was to build a radio tower and put it on the highest building that they could find so that they can get the best signal so that they could broadcast this outside of this pocket dimension.
I could really use your help. Yeah? You could? Listen, it has to go up high. That is the highest tree that I could find, but I can't. I get vertigo.
I did find some radios out back. I could try to send out a signal, but I'm going to need an elevated place with a clear line of sight and something to boost the power.
I mean, that's all the proof I need to prove exactly where they are. Maybe you need more. I don't know what else I could tell you, but to me, it's 1-to-1. So now let's talk about something else, and that is reincarnation. People are saying that since these people are reincarnated, that there is no way that that can be any science dealing with the reincarnation. Well, I say there is a way to deal with the reincarnation situation. In Fringe, Season 3, Episode 19, we see that William Bell's consciousness is reincarnated into Olivia Dunham's body. And how do they do this? They do not use magic. No, they use a technology that is called soul magnets. And these soul magnets allow for this conscious transfer to happen. So are they truly reincarnated? No, they are not. They believe that they are because of the soul magnets that put the consciousness of somebody else into that body. And that's why they think that they truly are. That brings us to the next thing we see in this trailer, and that is shape-shifting. It does believe that the man in yellow is shape-shifting, and this does seem supernatural. Now, I'm not going to debate what he's shape-shifting into at this particular time. It could be a number of things. Could be a couple of women. Maybe it's a spider. Who knows? I'm not here to argue that. What I'm here to argue is that this is not a supernatural occurrence because we see in Fringe there is shapeshifting and it has nothing to do with anything magical. In Fringe, shapeshifters were developed by a character named Thomas Jerome Newton, and shapeshifters served as the ultimate infiltrators of the alternative universe's Great War because they could replace high-ranking officials or members of the Fringe team themselves, and that's what they use this ability for. And I do believe that that's what we're going to see here with the Man in Yellow. He is going to replace one of the town members and infiltrate the town undercover as this person, just like they did in Fringe. LSD. This was brought up in From, and it's brought up really fast, but it's really significant why they bring it up.
The drinking when she got pregnant with Victor. Then one day, years later, it was my 35th birthday. Miranda gets it in her head that we're going to take a stroll down memory lane. She gets us 2 hits of acid. We take the kids to her parents' house for the night, and we take one last trip for old time's sake. That's when the voices started. When she started seeing things, she painted everything she saw.
So Miranda did not see anything, none of this stuff before she took that dose of LSD. And once she did, that's when she started hearing voices, and that's when she started seeing things, and that's when she started doing the paintings in order for her to put out there in her head exactly all the things that she has seen. But it wasn't until she took that LSD that works. Now, in the world of Fringe, we can see that Rebecca was an experimental subject of Walter Bishop's in the 1970s, and during their session, Walter dosed her with high-grade LSD to try to open her mind to see the alternate universe. Walter believed that LSD, combined with specific audio frequencies, could tune the human brain like a radio. Instead of seeing our world, the brain shifts its frequency to perceive alternate universes on the other side. Rebecca did not just have hallucinations, she was seeing actual events and people from the parallel world because the human brain isn't wired to process 2 realities at once. She did what? She painted them to make sense of the sensory bleed, just like Miranda did.
At first, I assumed it was all just a figment of my imagination. And the LSD, of course. But after a while, it wasn't just during the experiments. I would see their faces in front of me.
She said it was like she'd been chosen. She said it was a place that was everywhere, but you couldn't find it if you tried.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Somewhere you could stumble into from anywhere, but never find a way to leave.
And this would be why we hear the sound from the lighthouse, because it is the vibration and the sounds that enable all of this to happen with the LSD. Now we'll talk about story walking and Julie, because we know that's going to be a big thing going on this season. And though it is billed as story walking, what it truly is Julie, when she goes into that ruin, is going into a parallel dimension. And that parallel dimension is synced up with this town. And that is why she's able to see everything that is going on in this town. So when we see the cabinets opening, they aren't opening because of ghosts. They're opening because in the parallel version of the town that Julie is in, she is physically opening them. And the 2 realities are bleeding into each other. The kinetic energy from one side moves the object on the other side. It looks like a haunting, but it's just interdimensional displacement. Baby Thomas. Now, I already told you before that Julie would be the one to be on the phone and cause the death of baby Thomas. And that will definitely happen. But in Fringe, we can also see that at different times in parallel universes, different things happen. In Fringe, we see that one guy died in the parallel universe, but he survived in another one. And I think that it's possible that this is happening with baby Thomas, and that is why he may be alive in a different parallel universe, and he may be grown up at this point, and he really may be trying to communicate. We hear Ethan say that maybe they need to save baby Thomas, and maybe this is the reason why he said that. When we see these scarecrows coming to life, it's not that they're actually coming to life. See, just like Rebecca could see the glow from the people in the alternate universe, Miranda can see the real forms of the scarecrows. When they actually come to life, it's actually a person perceiving a creature that is standing in the exact same spot in parallel reality, making you think that it's the scarecrows that are coming to life in your reality. I have broken down everything that seems supernatural and kinda, in my opinion, proven that there's a good chance that it's not supernatural. And this is all just one big experiment by scientists of a future time that are going back experimenting on these people. But you tell me in the comment section what you think. Do you think I got this? Do you think I've solved the mystery of From? Or do you think it's something else? Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.